Hi there. Well, if you're applying for a master's level program to a university abroad, then the Kira talent assessment is definitely something that you would have come across. Increasingly, it's become very, very widely used for a host of programs across the world, especially in Canada, US, and Europe. And so tackling and understanding the process itself is extremely important. My name is Anand Venkatesan. I'm the founder and mentor of this website called mentorscapital.com. Our core philosophy revolves around mentorship, which we believe can help you answer various aspects of your admission journey and hopefully help you achieve success in the same. All right, let's start talking about the Kira's assessment process. There are 4 W's that I'm going to deal with in today's video. These are: where exactly is the Kira assessment being used today? How important is it? Why is an online assessment increasingly becoming important, and what exactly is assessed in such an assessment? And finally, I'm going to talk about what exactly do you need to be prepared for in order to clear the Kira and do well at the Kira talent assessment. All right, let's get started with the first aspect. What exactly is the Kira talent assessment? Well, to put it in a nutshell, the Kira online assessment suite basically includes some assessments which are text-based and others which are video-based. In each of these assessments, the candidate is given a preparation time. Once the screen shows you the question that you need to answer, you're given some time, typically about 30 seconds or so, to compose your thoughts and gather what exactly do you want to say in text or video form. This is then followed by the assessment time, which typically varies from university to university, program to program as well. But you can typically expect about a minute and a half in case it's a video assessment, and if it's a text-based assessment, the time limit allotted could be anywhere from 5 minutes to about 10-15 minutes, right? So that's what happens in the Kira assessment. Remember, it's an online assessment, which means that most of your responses will be automated, and reviewing will actually be automated, which means that whatever text you input is automatically checked for spelling errors, grammatical errors, and more of such things. Just like a CV assessment today has almost become an automated process for most HR companies, most HR departments of multinational firms. The Kira also allows that kind of flexibility, but it's not like everything is automated. The video and text responses that you provide are typically checked by the university, are reviewed by the university at various stages. Not just shown to the admission department, the AdCom members, but also to some distinguished alumni who can probably decide whether the candidate fits the kind of talent that the program or the school wants to generate, right? So that's what the assessment is all about. It's not really an interview, but it does simulate aspects of the interview in a video recording format. Well, why is the Kira assessment important? Well, it's increasingly, in the last 2 or 3 years, become, very widespread. It's used by some of the top tier universities, especially in the field of management, whether it's MBA or MSc or MIM. And you can see some of the top names featuring in this list. 2 of the top Canadian universities, the Western universities, Ivy School of Business, as well as the University of Toronto's Rotman School of Management are, were early adopters of the Kira talent assessment. And one of the very top global names in the field of management, INSEAD, also is on this list. And basically, INSEAD uses the Kira talent assessment as a pre-screen in order to decide whether the candidate deserves an interview with them, right? And it's not just that management programs are preferring to do Kira talent assessments. It's Also relevant if you're a pre-medical student in applying to colleges in the US. A lot of universities have already started accepting the Kira talent as a source of filtering candidates. And as time goes by, this is only going to get stronger and stronger by the year, right? And there are universities like the McMaster University and even the Imperial College, in fact, that one that stands out because some of these schools have actually said that we will not conduct in-person interviews. We will merely make the candidate take the Kira talent interviews, and then we'll have those assessed by alumni and various distinguished panel experts. So the future does sort of board greater use of such online assessments, and being prepared for this can actually make or break your chances of getting into that dream school or university of your choice. Right. Now that we know that it's important, exactly why are online assessments preferred? Well, this one is probably easy to answer because number one, most universities see applications in the tens of thousands, right? So and while you do provide them an application, a detailed application form that sort of tells them about your motivations and your talents and your competencies, chances are that you do seek help, and the university and college also wants to ascertain that what you write is exactly what you are in real terms. So it becomes easy to assess the large pool of applicants that they get. Because it's online, it also becomes very, very comfortable a process to filter candidates, to screen them. Once they've decided that some applications deserve taking a look at, deserve greater attention, instead of cutting their chances short. A lot of prospective candidates are given a filtering process so that they can prove their credentials, they can prove that they have the talent and the personality to do well in a global management program, or even a engineering or sciences or medical pre-medical program in a very, very multi-ethnic group of students. And finally, I think one of the big advantages that comes with an online assessment is that, well, it can be automated, right? It's easy to conduct. It really does not require any constraints. It doesn't come with any constraints of scheduling and matching times. You can take it pretty much any time of the day, any time in the week, and not just it's not just convenient to conduct. It also makes assessments and review a lot easier, where some parts are actually automated, and then others are actually easy to share, and so feedback is easier to compile, and it also lends itself to a lot of AI and machine learning programs into the future once sufficient data can be collected, right? So many reasons why the online assessment is here to stay. And so even if you are considering an online assessment in the future, an application in the future, this video probably will throw some light on how to prepare yourself. Well, what exactly does the Kira assessment what does it check, what does it assess in candidates? Well, I like to think of the Kira talent process, and in fact I'd like to think of most application processes as holistic, right? So they do want to gauge various aspects that define who exactly you are, and four building blocks that most universities are interested in are: number one, what what do you stand for? What is your motivation and drive to study this program, to pursue an education abroad, to come to this particular university or this particular program? So that becomes one of the crucial sort of building blocks of your application. But while that is important, and equally important are the skills and competencies that you bring in to the peer group. These could be academic, these could be experience based, these could also be extracurricular based. But all skills and talents that you bring to the table, and the versatility that you sort of bring in as a candidate, as an international candidate, are very, very important for a university to sort of assess you, right? Finally, well, most programs look to create successful business leaders, successful professionals for the future, and so leadership traits, all said and done, become very, very crucial, very, very difficult to define as well, right? What makes for a good leader? Chances are it's actually a mix of various aspects that go into making a good leader. But a lot of this is also, things that you would have displayed at various points in time, right? So it's not just about, the things that you say, it's also about the experiences that you've lived. And so the talent process and any admission process actually does take into account your experiences and what it says, what those say about your leadership potential, right? And last, but by no means the least of these, would be communication skills. And well, in an online assessment, this probably is the most important aspect, right? And we tend to overthink video assessments. You tend to sort of, most candidates tend to sort of dwell on what am I going to say, what are the examples that I'm going to use, what are the adjectives I'm going to use to define myself in the online process, but tend to forget that a lot of the things that admission committees can pick up in a video assessment go beyond just the words you speak. These could be about your body language, the manner in which you speak, the fluency with which you are able to communicate, the ability to structure thought on the go, right? When a question comes up on your screen, and you're given 30 seconds to prepare, are you using that time to structure your thought and present them in a cohesive manner? And last but not the least, are you well prepared for the assessment? Because you're given plenty of time by most universities to take the talent assessment, the Kira suite of assessments, and so you're given every opportunity to prepare. So you're expected to be well prepared. You're also expected to be able to handle the stress that goes with such an occasion, right? So well, all said and done, it's a very, very holistic process. But I think if you're preparing for one, I think focus more on communication, focus more on delivery, focus more on structure. Although the content of what you speak and the instances that you bring up are indeed important, but these things are more or less certain by the time you've worked on your application. So do keep that in mind when you're preparing for the Kila talent assessment. All right, let's now get down to exactly what you need to prepare, right? And I'm going to do this one bit at a time. The first and foremost, aspect of preparation, and I've seen this with a lot of candidates that I help, deal with the Kira assessments. Candidates tend to worry and brood more about what I'm going to say and what is in instances and what aspects of my journey so far am I going to bring up, but tend to forget the ambience and the general presentation that they're going to make of themselves in a process like this, right? It is incredibly important to show the right body languages. And in fact, most people tend to think about communication as simply saying the right things, taking time to think and before speaking, but tend to forget that a video assessment is also a very, very good opportunity to showcase how badly you want to pursue this program, and so your enthusiasm level, the energy that you bring into a video assessment can be incredibly important. So please do prepare yourself on ambience and make sure that your camera is a good one, that you're setting up in a very, very good soundproof room, that lighting is not behind you, because it can tend to make the video blurry or unclear, or at least not good enough for appealing. So make sure that the light falls onto your face, and spend some time, at least a week before the assessment, in setting these things up, right? Make sure that you also finalize where you're going to take the interview, because it's not just about the ambience and the background, but it's also about your comfort in that position, and hopefully you don't have any disturbances. when you're taking the assessment. So that's number one. That's actually a prerequisite. But since most people don't worry about it, I'd say this is very, very important. Number two, I think spend a lot of time in understanding yourself and defining exactly what is it that you stand for, right? And like any other, interview preparation or application preparation, this involves a lot of introspection on what are, the key aspects of your personality that define you, right? What most brands identify as USPs of USPs, unique selling points. So understand that and try to define yourself as best as possible in 3 to 5 adjectives. I'd say 3 adjectives are probably ideal because as long as they are clear, they are distinguishable, and they are justifiable. You walk into an assessment knowing what you want to say about yourself, what you want to project in the interview. So, irrespective of the question type, as long as you know what you want to say about yourself, about your personality, about your skills and competencies, chances are that you will be able to tackle the assessment, tackle any question that comes up in the assessment. So that's a very, very important aspect. Number three, make sure that you also prepare a long list, like a very exhaustive list of maybe 5 to 10 instances from your life. Right now, I'm going to talk about these as life events and not professional events or academic events, because well, what define you and what define your character, what define your motivation and competencies can sometimes be all over the place, right? It could be that hobby that you pursue that says a lot about the passion that you bring to any project. It could be the competitiveness that you bring to sport or academics that could really throw off that edge so important to compete in a talented pool of peers at your dream school. Well, it could also be instances from work, or instances from college, or instances from just your social life that define you, that define various aspects of how you perform under pressure, how you dealt with tricky situations, how you how your interpersonal skills are, and so on and so forth, right? So my suggestion here would be, first think of major instances that speak the best about you, right? So life events are first and foremost, and then ask yourself various aspects of what could be tested on a behavioral scale, right? So most processes tend to check leadership, the ability to lead and take initiative, the ability to work well on team projects and towards a shared outcome, towards displaying the calmness and character to deal with conflict, whether it's at a workplace or in a social setting, the ability to deal with emotional situation, right? And also, finally, ethically or morally sort of dual situations, where there is a very, very fine line between what is right and what could be perceived as wrong. And do you cross that line, and what is your thinking in such situations, right? So these are broadly the themes around which you want to think. And once you've defined your life events, try to assess what these life events, what these situations say about these aspects of your personality, what they say about leadership potential, what they say about your ability to think and act on your quick on your feet, and many other such aspects, right? So think about and plan those situations. You don't have to really write out detailed answers to these, right? But I think having a set of bulleted points prepared, and then uh, and then thinking about how these can come up in the actual process can become a lot easier, right? So my sense is, define 3 to 5 character traits that define you, and then identify 5 to 10 life events that could be most significant from your life up until date, and then match both of these against various themes that come up in a typical interview, in a typical talent process that is conducted by TIRA, right? And last but definitely not the least, again, is the most important aspect of putting this to the sword, right? And my honest sort of appeal to you would be, please seek help if possible. But above all, even if you do, self preparation, make sure that you seek help and evaluation by yourself, right? So don't just write your answers, speak them into the camera, right? Speak them. Try that helps in so many ways. It's not funny. Number one, it will also tell you, do you look nervous? What's your body language like? Number two, it will also tell you your manner of communication. Am I too abrupt? Am I, halting? Do I take too many pauses? Do I seem unsure? Number three, it also helps you understand, timing, because remember the video assessments are all timed, so you only have 30 seconds of preparation, but about 90 seconds to say or make your points. So it will also tell you, are you able to complete in time? And number four, it also tells you if you're able to structure your answer well. Even though you have the points noted out in front of you, are you able to sort of communicate that in a structured manner, especially when a surprise question pops up, right? When obviously, if you know that you're going to talk about your journey in at the workplace, and you want to talk about instances that showcase your leadership skills, well, it's easy to tackle, right? But when the question comes up in an unexpected manner, structuring your answer, the same points, putting them in a manner that answers the exact question presented to you, could actually make the difference between doing well and being brilliant in the process, right? So give that a thought. And like I said, I think it always helps if, after making some changes, by yourself, it also helps to sort of seek outside opinions, right? That's where we can probably step in and help you, because we actually spend a lot of time with every single candidate, helping them craft their own story, identify what aspects of their personality and their experiences to take probably stand out, which life events would be significant and must be brought up in the process itself. And finally, I think a stage of mentorship helps, because instead of doing a recorded video assessment, if you do it live with one of our mentors, then that could also mean that you immediately get feedback on various aspects that I just spoke about, and get to sort of work on these by yourself later on, right? So many ways in which we can help you out. And by the way, our assistance extends beyond just the Kira video assessment. Mentors Capital actually has a large pool of mentors, and on the back of mentorship, we can help you prepare for various exams like the GRE, GMAT, or even the SAT. We also help you create impactful applications, whether it's the essays that you put up, whether it's the letters of recommendation that sometimes need to be drafted, and finally also help you with the last stage of admission, which is these video assessments, followed by personal interviews that could be in person, or sometimes or most times in today's world would be online, right? So we actually help you through every step of your journey, and this ladder, I'm very, very confident, will help you succeed and get into your dream university, right? I hope you liked this video. Do give it a thumbs up if you did. The description of this video also tells you how to contact us in case you need help, in case there's something that I can throw additional light on. Do write into me on the comment section, or just reach out to us on WhatsApp, or just visit our website to get in touch. Thank you. Have a great day, and wish you all the very best with your application journey.